This is video number 3 for PowerPoint Module 1 in the Shelly Cashman textbook on Microsoft Office 365. We're starting on page 1-48, making changes to slide text content. First instructions are on page 1-49. Delete text in a placeholder. We want to select slide number 3. And the word we want to replace is facilities. They tell you to click on the end of the word here and then drag the mouse over it, but you can also just double click on it, which is probably a little bit easier. Select it, press the delete key to delete it. We're going to replace it with the word services. Looks like I deleted the space there as well, so leave a space if necessary. And enter the word services. Do not hit the enter key at the end of the line. Now let's flip over to page 1-50. We're going to change the theme colors. To do that, we go to the Design tab, click on the Design tab up here. And we've got some variants over here. If you look at these, you can see that the pattern remains the same, but we're changing the colors. And we want to click on the More button, a little down arrow with a hash mark above it. And we want to change the default colors. There's a whole bunch of color palettes here. So select colors and go down here. And the one we want to choose is yellow orange. Click on yellow orange. And you'll notice that up here, at least the color of the background changed to more of an orange color. I don't know if there are any other changes. Yeah, the little vertical bar here at the side of the title is a different color than it was before. Let's go to the bottom of page 1-51. We're going to add notes to a slide. Notes are things that will show up when you're editing and you can see them, but when you actually run your slideshow, they will not be visible. However, if you do your slideshow on a device that has 2 displays, you can have the slideshow appear on one display and you can have your notes appear on the other. The notes pane is way down here at the bottom where it says click to add notes. So go ahead and click down there and we're going to enter some text. After you finish typing in the notes, we can flip over to page 1-52. We're going to go to slide 4, and we're going to add some notes at the bottom of that one as well. When you finish typing the notes, we're going to go on to the section on checking the spelling. The instructions are on the top of page 1-53. Click on the Review tab up here to display the review ribbon. Click on the Spelling button. It should flag the word vaccinations. Over here on the right, we should see some choices, and it looks like the first one is the one that we want. Go ahead and click on that, and then click on Change. And if we flip back up here, we can see that vaccinations is now spelled correctly. And I'm probably going to have to check on spelling again. And we've got obedience is flagged down here, and it does recognize that one as well. So there's only one to select. Click on Change, and it'll change that to obedience, and that is the end of the spelling check. When the spelling check complete dialog box comes up, click on OK. And there is nothing to do in the document in the section called Document Properties. We're going to skip over to Changing Views. Now let's go to page 1-55. The default view here is called Normal View, and you get the slide in the middle here. And over on the left, you see a bunch of thumbnails. We're going to check out a couple of other views here. The second view here is the slide sorter view. If you click on that, you get this window where everything is displayed as a thumbnail, and you can drag and drop the slides any way you want to rearrange them, and you can also do a few other things. Now let's flip over to page 1-56. Item number 2 says click on the Reading View button, and the Reading View button is this one down here that looks like a little open book. Go ahead and click on that. I'm not sure how useful this is. This is basically the same as Reading View was in Word. So if you want to read your slideshow as you would read a book, then this is the view that you want. I don't think you want to do that very often, though. So we've got some buttons down here we can use, some arrows that we can use to move forwards. That'll take us forwards. This one will take us backwards. And if we click on the button in the middle here, it'll bring up a list of options that we can use while we're in Reading View. Okay, let's go ahead and let's go back to Slide Sorter View. And then let's go back to Normal View. And now let's go to the top of page 1-57, viewing the presentation in slideshow view. Instruction 1 says point to the Start from Beginning button on the Quick Access toolbar. And I do not have that on my Quick Access toolbar. You may not either. If you don't have it, let's click on the down arrow here. And the Start from Beginning option can be turned on. And it just looks like a little screen here with an arrow on it. Go ahead and click on that. The other way is just to go down to the right side of the status bar and click on the slideshow button. So let's go ahead and start the slideshow. Your slideshow will take up the entire screen, and you can move through the slides in the slideshow. One way to move forward is just to click the mouse. I'm going to click the mouse now. You can also use keys on the keyboard. You can use the up arrow key to move up. I'm going to hit the up arrow key now. We'll move back up. The down arrow, I'm going to hit the down arrow a few times to move forwards. Page up and page down. I'm going to hit page up several times to go back to the top, page down several times to go to the bottom. You can also use the left and right arrow keys. I'm going to hit the left arrow key to go up a few times and the right arrow key to go down a few times. If we go past the bottom slide, we'll get this black slide here that says end of slideshow, and all you have to do is click and it'll take you back into normal view. Let's go to the bottom of page 1-59 to print full page slides. Click on slide number 1 over here in your thumbnails. If it's not already selected, then go click on the File tab up here. Click on Print. And what we will get is we've got 4 slides. We're going to get 4 pages down here. Click on the arrows to move through the slides, and you'll see what's going to be printed. If you're connected to a color printer, this will probably show up in color for you. I have a black and white laser printer, so everything is going to show up in grayscale for me. He says go ahead and print this. If you wanted to print it, you would just click on the print button up here. I'm not going to do that. Now we're on page 1-61 to preview and print a handout. So I'm going to stay in backstage view here because the next couple of things involve backstage view. So click on the options here under full page slides. We have some other options that don't waste nearly as much paper. If you really do need a hard copy of this, you can do 2 slides. You can do 3 slides per page and it leaves some notes, room for notes there. You can do 4, 6, or 9, and you've got the option of going horizontal or vertical on each one of those. He wants you to go to 2 slides and print it out. If you want to do that, click on the print button. I don't want to do that, so I'm not going to click on it. The next option, flip over to page 1-62. We're going to print speaker notes. So let's go down to this button here that's now labeled 2 slides. Let's click on the down arrow and choose notes pages. If you choose notes pages, what you will get is you're back to 1 page per slide. If you have any notes, though, I don't have any notes on slide number 1 here or slide number 2, but I'm going to click on the arrow one more time and go to slide number 3. If you've entered some notes for that slide, it will put those notes at the bottom of the page here. So slides 3 and 4 both have their notes printed down at the bottom. Slides 1 and 2 do not have anything because we did not put any notes in. If you wanted to, after you print out the hard copy, you could write on whatever notes you wanted to put on it. Now let's go to page 1-63. And he tells you to print that one. We're not going to print that one either. Now we're at the bottom of page 1-63. He wants us to go to slide number 3. So here's slide number 3. Click grayscale. That's the default for me. If I click on color here, it still displays in black and white because that's what we get on a black and white printer. If what you have is a black and white printer, choose grayscale. That should be the default. Again, he tells you to click on the print button, and again, I'm not going to do that. We're going to go back to normal view, click on the arrow here, and we're back in normal view. And now we're at the bottom of page 1-64. If you want help, there's a help tab up here. Click on the help tab and the help ribbon will be displayed. Click on the help button, the question mark. We'll get a help window opening up here on the right side. You can type in whatever it is you want to look for. We're going to look for the word fonts. Type fonts and hit enter. We'll get some options related to fonts. You can go to the slide master and change the default fonts. Tells you how to use fonts on the ribbon. And there are some help articles down here that you can also go to find out more about how fonts work in PowerPoint. I'm not getting the same results he did. You may not get the same results I do, but if there's something here you want to find out more about, you can just click on it and it will open up a window with an explanation. Let's click the close button up here in the upper right hand corner to close out of help. Let's flip over to page 1-67. We're going to get help another way by clicking on this tell me box up here with the magnifying glass. Go up there and type in the word border. some options will pop up. Click on border style. It'll show us the different border styles down here. So it shows you what they are, but it's not all that useful. You can actually click on one of these though, and you'll get a pencil here and you can draw a border. But I don't think that's actually very useful. If I want to put a border around a picture, I think what you'd much rather do is just click on the picture and go to your picture format box up here, go to picture border and make your selections. And the last thing is signing out of a Microsoft account, and we're going to skip that part. And that takes us to the end of PowerPoint module number 1.